All right. Welcome to another session talking confidence, talking leadership. Good to see everybody. Banker Chick, what's happening? To Moon and back. Thorak, multi-trillionaire. What's happening, everybody? Myra, good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. Hello. What's up, Jay Rose? Momo. So we're continuing this kickoff to January going. We're talking about our leadership, discovering our gifts so that we can deliver them, right? Discovery and delivery is what we've been talking about all week. And today, wanted to just keep it going, continue talking about confidence, continue talking about how to find that gift that is within us, and really just jump into this and unpack it a little bit on this fantastic Friday, the first Friday of the new year, so that we can implement. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. It's been a good day. You know, we received some snow here in Pennsylvania, so things were all crisp and clean and white and covered in snow, and it can be kind of relaxing. It wasn't too much, a few inches, so it was nice. The horses were enjoying it. They were out in it, and it wasn't too cold, so not a bad day at all. Got some things done and just enjoyed what is, right? The something about the snow, it just brings a certain kind of, calmness and stillness. So I enjoyed that today. But today I wanted to talk about like listening, becoming good listeners, and how the skill of listening can really impact your life in terms of your confidence. And it's not one of those things that I oftentimes hear people talking about, how we can listen to develop confidence, but we can. And let me tell you something. Oftentimes we have confidence because we've been listening to something that perhaps is negative. So you can develop confidence for something negative as much as you can for your dreams and your visions and your hopes as well. So as we're listening, and I thought about this specifically for today, this Friday, because typically people will get to the end of the week and something happens. Something happens with Fridays for a lot of people, where Fridays become this relief, this break. I get to get away from what I was doing. And I think that's important. I think it's important to pick up on that as we move forward with our lives, as we are deciding, I am going to become the leader that I know I am. I am going to discover the gift that is within me so I can deliver it to the world. I think it is highly important for us to recognize what we are saying to ourselves, right? It's easy when we talk about listening to think about someone else. Oh, listening to someone else, listen to someone else. That's great. We should do that. I also think that we should listen to ourselves. Okay? Because we can go through this pattern and habit where our own being is trying to talk to us. Our own being is wanting to communicate with us, to help us, to change our lives around, to get out of a situation that we've been in, to move on or move into something new. And yet we don't listen. And so on this Friday, I wanted to just kind of walk you through just something to bring some awareness. For instance, you come down to the end of the work week on Friday, if this is the end of your work week, or whenever your work week is, coming to an end, or whenever you're kind of going through some transitions, what do you say to yourself? Have you been energized by what this day has been for you? Have you been energized by what this week has been for you? Are you energized by the work that you do, the relationships that you're in? Are you energized by it, or is it something different? Do you find yourself being drained by your work, by your living environment, by the relationships that you're in? What's happening? Like what does your being say to you? Right? What is it? Like, what does your being say? Because if you took the time and actually listened to yourself, we talked about having clues, having clues to discover our gift, having clues to discover our treasure. Well, some of the clues can be found in those areas where we find frustration. If you can answer the question of why are you frustrated? Because you actually took the time to listen to yourself and listen to the fact that you over and over and over again complain about something. If you took the time to listen to that complaint from yourself and then answered it, that would help you. It would help you to discover your next move. It would help you to perhaps gain a different perspective for a new direction that could actually invigorate your life. Right? Think about this. If your life is being drained right now, do you know that there's actually another side of being drained? You could actually be refreshed. Something to think about, but you have to become a listener. So I have a question that came up. Do you have any tips on not being, do you have any tips on not being from being a yes man and standing strong and enforcing boundaries? Well, I think I understand that question. How to move away from being a yes man. Okay. That person that just goes along. This is what we're talking about in terms of confidence. Again, I'll do this. I'm going to start with me. I'll share me because I think I have this approach where I call it being first in the pool. And I believe that as a leader and as a person that wants to build community, I believe one of the first things you got to do is be the first to go, because then you create an environment of safety. And I was that person. I used to be a person that did not want to ruffle anyone else's feathers because I wanted everybody to be okay with me. And as I started to look at that in my life, I really had to ask myself the question, why? And you know when it happened? Again, rock bottom, because I had been brokenhearted. I had been beaten up. When I finally hit rock bottom and I got sick and tired of being pushed around and being bullied, and I made some choices that weren't really great choices at all. But I saw that on the backside of what I was allowing into my life, it was breaking me down. And then I ended up making some terrible choices. What I found out was, all right, you know why you're a yes man? You know why you believe that good guys finish last? It's because you're weak. Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me. This is the conversation that I had with myself. Right. And I believe I have some really straightforward conversations with myself. And I had to admit, it's not about being good. It's not your goodness that causes people to walk all over you. It's not your goodness, it's your weakness. See, and let's find out where that weakness is. See, that weakness stems from the fact that you've had low self-esteem. And so you were so desperate, again, talking to me, not talking to you. You were so desperate that you didn't want to ruffle anyone else's feathers because you didn't think that anyone would stay. You were so desperate to have people in your life that you would be the good guy, quote unquote, the good guy. In other words, the weak guy that let people mishandle you and misuse you and walk all over you. And so you just went along so that you could keep a peaceful atmosphere because you were so afraid of people leaving you. I know where this comes from. This is why it's so important to listen to ourselves. This also comes from the fact that I moved a lot as a young person growing up in my life. I was born in Philadelphia. I moved to California. I moved from California to Missouri. I moved from Missouri back to Philadelphia. So my life had a lot of different movements, and I never really grew up with like a core group of friends. And so I kind of in the back of my mind understood that people won't really be there. You'll be there for a little bit, then you move. So people don't stay. And so when we start looking into our lives and start digging into the fact and asking ourselves those difficult questions of why am I this way? Do you know what? What you look for, you'll find. You'll find the answer if you ask yourself the question and then you begin looking. You'll find the answers. And so as my self-esteem changed, and as I made some choices where I stood up for myself and stood up to the bully, and I just got tired of being walked all over. When I made the big mistakes and things came crumbling down, I actually realized, though this was a horrible mistake, though this was a poor choice, the choice actually was birthed from, I finally just wanted to fight back. I finally wanted to stand up for myself. I finally got tired of being the good guy that was finishing last. And so it was me standing up for myself. And look, sometimes when you stand up for yourself, it can be messy, because what was I doing all this time? I was bottling it. I was bottling it up, and I was trying to package it. And so trying to go along and appease everybody, it doesn't work. At some point, there's going to be a breakdown in your process, because you're not designed to live that way. Again, it all goes back to what you believe about yourself, and whether or not you believe it actually isn't really the case. We are each, this is what I believe, we are each designed to be powerful. Everyone, every single person on this spinning globe is designed to be powerful. And guess what? Everybody wants it. Every single person wants power. Now, some people can try to act like they don't, but we do. Everybody wants power. You know why? We're designed to be powerful. Our minds, our capabilities, we're designed to be powerful. Now, again, I share with you, I'm a Bible guy. I'm not going to Bible beat you in terms of religion and try to take you. I'm not going to take you to all that you've done wrong, because guess what? I knew what I did wrong. I didn't need that. I started off, when I look in, my favorite part of the Bible is in Genesis chapter 1, the beginning. Because for me, when I was pissed off to the highest level of festivity at being beat up in life, I was like, I needed this. I said, okay, I'm going to go. I need to understand some stuff here, because I grew up with this Bible and I've been getting my butt kicked my whole life. I've been to a lot of church services. I'm still getting my butt kicked my whole entire life. In every area of my life, I feel like I'm just underperforming. I'm just being so candid with you. There was a point when I walked away from the church and everything, and I was like, I don't want your Jesus. Don't give me your Jesus. I was like, I don't want your weak Jesus. And I wasn't talking about Jesus. I was talking about this religion that had been given to me and that I had heard and I see operating. I didn't want it. I was like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work, because what I read in the Bible were stories of power. What I was seeing in the earth weren't examples of power. I was like, and my life was falling apart. So I'm like, either this Bible has no power, or perhaps I just been handling it all wrong. And I was, like I said, I was broken. I was beat. I was done. I needed a place for my broken heart to be, and it wasn't in church. And so I was out. I was kind of like on the outside. The Bible talks about there's this son that left his father's house, and his father's house was wealthy and everything was there, but the son left and he was away, and they call him the prodigal son. I was that for a while. I was like, I can't do the church thing. I need to know God for myself. It's got to be me and you here, right? So I get into Genesis, which I always, I really enjoy, but I really started to look at it. And in Genesis, when God says in Genesis, I've made you in my image and likeness, that was big for me. Because for me, when I looked at that, that answered every question about power. See, no one that wants you to be their slave is going to tell you that you were designed to be powerful. See, when we really start looking at like the religious systems and a lot of different systems, no one's going to tell you you were made to be powerful. And so for me, as I was working with women, this particular group of people in particular, I'm like, man, this is deep. Society doesn't didn't doesn't want women to be powerful. Society will like crush a woman. Will put her down. You're not significant enough. Won't pay her enough. And so I'm going through my process, but I'm serving women. And as I'm looking, I'm thinking, why not? Why not tell somebody they're powerful? And then as I started looking at it some more, it started to be, you know what? Because if I tell you that you're powerful, if I build you up in your power, then I'm no longer controlling you. Now, if I'm not controlling you with my power, what has to happen? Now, in order for us to have communion, I have to develop my relational skills. I have to now be in an invested relationship partner with you. See, when you want to control someone, you don't have to be an invested relationship partner with them. You're not caring about their well-being. But what I was going through in my journey of development and change and growth, I was actually serving women in a gym. I had my own gym, my own training facility. And so I was actually helping women physically become stronger. And as I was going through this process of training and helping women become physically stronger, I was learning the life lessons about strength. Because here's this, because I would work out. And when I would work out, I would put considerably more weight on the bar. And here's what I know. When I would put more weight on the bar, if there wasn't a strong woman around in that moment to help, if I got into a situation, I would be crushed. And so one of the greatest things that happened in my time of training was that I helped women become so strong that when I did this thing called maxing out, which means I put on all the weight that I could possibly do one time, the women that I trained, I trusted them to stand there and be my spotter, which means I trust you enough that if something goes wrong, you can lift this off of me. You can help me lift this up. And I remember as they started to say, like, Brian, that's a lot of weight. I don't know if I can do it. And I would tell them, I believe in you. I believe in you. See, I knew that I was helping them to become strong because their strength didn't work against mine. Their strength, it added to it. I was able to go to my limits because I was around women that were strong. And I was confident in their strength because they had been in a routine. There's that word. I was confident in their strength because they had been in routines, and I listened to them. I listened to them go through their practice. I listened to them become stronger. So when the moment came, I said, I need you. I was confident that they would show up and be able to do it. And so when I looked in Genesis, and God made man in his image and his likeness, not man, mankind, all of mankind. God made mankind in his image and his likeness. I was like, that's very important. That's a very important statement, because if something is made in my image and likeness, and then following that, God says, and I'm giving you the power to operate in the earth. I'm not trying to make this a Bible lesson, but I got to tell you where I come from. So at least if I talk to you, you don't have to wonder. And if you've been around any length of time, you know I'm not breaking you down. I'm not trying to harm you. I want to see you built up. But this is my backstory. This is where it comes from. I don't just make up good things just to make up good things. Okay, so just so we're clear, I just want you to know, when I read it, It says, and God made man in his image and his likeness, mankind, his image and his likeness. Then God says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion. Doesn't it talks nothing about breaking things down, talks nothing about destroying things. No, have dominion. It means you have responsibility in the earth to do things. You have been given power. And that's why every single person on this globe has a treasure within them to be discovered. People don't want you to know that. What they want you to do is keep on scrolling and being distracted from the fact that you have power in you, and there's something in you that answers a problem in the world. Oh, shucks. Josh got a new job. I'm a professor now. I got the job. Congratulations to you. That's fantastic. Power at work, right there. I got the new job. Why did he get the new job? Because he went forth to get the new job, put himself out there to get the new job. You have something in you to get the new job. I know you've been doing what you've been doing, but you have the power to get the new job. You have an assignment, not just a job. We're not talking about, like, I don't want you to think your job needs to be beating you up and breaking you down. No. You have an assignment. Josh is he's a professor now. So you know what that means? He has an assignment. He has a job to do. And you know what he's going to do? And when it comes to that job, he's bringing something to the job that is going to create greater life, that is going to answer questions. Wherever you show up, all of us, we're living entrepreneurs, right? Not entrepreneurs in terms of I need to start my own business. Entrepreneurs in the sense of I answer and I help solve problems. That's what an entrepreneur is. So now I hereby tell all of you that you are an entrepreneur, which means you have the power to think of answers that solve problems in the world. You're an entrepreneur in your home. You're an entrepreneur in your family. You could be a daddypreneur or a mommypreneur or a husbandpreneur or a wifepreneur or a friendpreneur or whatever, entrepreneur. You have the power to answer and solve problems, but you know how it happens? Listening. You have the answer. You have the power to solve the problem that is actually happening in your life right now, but you have to listen. You have to listen. You cannot continue ignoring yourself and think that you're going to get away from the situation that you're in. Listen, you are your number one relationship partner. You're that person. If you're not willing to listen to yourself, you're going to be in a bad situation. Because if you don't value yourself, guess what you've just done in the marketplace, in the world? You've now told everyone else, I'm not worth listening to. I don't even listen to myself. Come on, you're more valuable than that. You are made in the image. Again, you might say, I don't believe in God, whatever. But if you just imagine for a second being made in the image of the most powerful image that you could come up with and think, all right, I'm made in that image. That's my design. See, that shifted some things for me. A person that lived a great majority of his life with low self-esteem. You know why? Because I didn't realize my image. I had an image problem. I didn't identify with an image that would build me up. I identified with an image that broke me down. And guess what? When you have a broken down identification of yourself, do you know your actions are going to follow the image that you have for yourself? But if you ask me now, like, Brian, tell me, oh, I'm a king. I'm a king. Oh, I am a king. I'm a king, right? I rehearse that. And so when I rehearse that, because I am a king, I do king things. I think king ways. I then think, okay, well, what kind of king are you? Oh, I'm a good king. I'm a loving king. So then here's how this works. I'm a king. Whatever I do, wherever I go, wherever I am, that is my kingdom. That is the area and realm in which I work, in which I operate, being on social media and sharing, or being at the barn, or if I go to the grocery store, wherever I show up as a king, I'm in kingdom. And so I have a responsibility to do things that represent the kingdom well, because I'm a king made in the image and likeness of the King of all kings. See how this works? Mentality. There's so many great things in the Bible that have just been mishandled to abuse people, to make people feel less than, to have someone controlling. I listen. I'm like, if somebody is sharing the Bible and is not building you to see who you are so that you can operate in the image you were made in, I'm calling that as that's off. See, I get it. You can build a great following. Let me just tell you, I'm pulling off the veil here. You can build a great following with negativity. Tell people like they're just sinners all the time. They've missed it all the time. Then guess what you have to do? You're always in this state of, I apologize, and I'm broken, and I'm always less than, because all I see is the wrong that I'm doing. You can keep bringing people back. As long as I keep telling you you're broken, you're going to come in back for treatment. But when I mess around and say, no, forget this broken thing. Let's build you up so that you're whole. You're not going to keep coming back. You're going to say, oh, I need to go forward. See the difference? If I'm broken, I need to keep coming back. If I'm whole, then I can run forward. So my thing is, oh no, we need to really look and see what's going on here, because there needs to be, yes, you come in and your life might be broken. You might have made some decisions. You might have made some choices. I have, but listen, I can't live there, because if I stay there, I'm dying there anyway. So just like my bones, the body being a natural example, that healing happens so that you can move forward because you have an assignment. I would encourage you to start thinking about your life in this way. We are often conditioned to think of employment, being employed. I want to talk to you about being deployed. Deployment, like military, like, oh, my brother, he's in the Air Force, and he would have a deployment where he would go somewhere on a mission to accomplish something. You and I are on this earth having been deployed to do something. This is our deployment. So we have an assignment, and you are strong enough and capable enough and powerful enough to do it. And yes, you have made mistakes. Things have happened to you. You have done things. Things have been done to you. You have thought things. You have said things. All of that is true. And with that being said, you were made in the image and likeness of God to be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, be fruitful, have an idea, multiply, make it an idea that you can duplicate, replenish, distribute it into the world, and subdue means you become the expert. Listen, you can write these 4 things down because they are the key. You're going to be able to use them everywhere. You have an idea. Here, I'm going to say it again slowly. God said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion. It's actually an equation. Fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue equals dominion. It equals reigning, ruling. It means having authority over. If you have an idea, fruit is an idea. You can't go to your refrigerator or to the grocery store and get fruit. If I say, go hand me a fruit, you actually won't come back with anything. Fruit is an idea. It's a category. An apple is a fruit. A banana is a fruit. So you be fruitful. You have ideas. You be fruitful. How they manifest, they'll manifest different ways. You have an idea. Then fruitful, multiply. You have an idea that you can duplicate. All right, I need to be able to do this more than once. Okay? Be fruitful, multiply, replenish. Replenish means I need to be able to take what I have now duplicated and I need to be able to distribute it. I need to get this into my life on a regular, reoccurring basis. I need to take it from my mind as an idea, something that I can duplicate and distribute into my life. I need this as a habit and a practice into my life. So if I have an idea that I can repeat, that I can distribute into my life, then I can subdue it. Means I become the master at this. I become an expert at this. I develop my skills around this. See, this is the key to succeeding in life. If you are fruitful, have an idea that you can duplicate, that you can distribute into your life, and that you can master, then you have dominion. Where do you have dominion? In that area. You want to see it work in business? It is the key to every successful business. Coca-Cola, they had an idea. We're going to make beverages. What did they do? They didn't just make one Coke. They built a factory to duplicate Coca-Cola. So fruitful, multiply, replenish. They have distribution systems. We have trucks. We have everything to get our Coca-Colas from this factory to where they need to go. Fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue. They became the expert. They cornered the market. They learned what people wanted. They dominate. It's not like it's the best beverage. McDonald's doesn't make the best burgers, but they have the best systems. They have ideas that they duplicate, that they distribute, and they corner the market. That's why they dominate. You want to dominate in your marriage? Not dominate the person. You want to dominate love. You say, okay, I have an idea. I want to be the best husband that I can possibly be. That's an idea. Okay. So how am I going to do this? All right, I'm gonna be the best husband I could be in showing affection. How am I going to do this? All right, I'm gonna hold my wife's hand every day. I'm gonna hold my husband's hand every day. I'm gonna give them a hug or a kiss every day. All right, I'm gonna do that. That's my idea. I can duplicate that. I can do that. Now I'm gonna distribute that to my husband, my wife, my spouse, my children. How am I going to do that? All right, I'm going to make sure that before he or she or they go off to work, I'm going to show them that affection. When I see him, when we get back together, I'm going to show them that affection. Now I have a distribution system from me to them. And now I'm going to now subdue the market. I am going to be the go-to person and corner the market and understand that sometimes if my husband comes in and he's feeling on edge, that might not be the time to just run up on him. No, I might need to give him some time. Or I see that she's in the moment right now. She's feeling a little crampy. Might not be the time. I'm going to become the expert. I'm going to learn how. I'm going to listen. I'm going to pay attention. Then I dominate. I dominate the market. I dominate the marketplace of their heart. I'm the number one supplier. Listen, we can use this everywhere. If you just run it through a pattern. Run it through this pattern. Do I have an idea that I can duplicate, that I can distribute, that I can become really good at? Because if I can do that, I now have dominion. That's power. Dominion is power. You know what dominion is? I have a domain. If you're going to have dominion, you need to have a domain. That's your area. That's your area of leadership. That's where your gift is being served. This is not a religious thing. You think Apple doesn't use this and Microsoft and all these, they use the same system. Big organizations, they get it. But if we get it on this level in our homes and in our relationships, what does it look like when you say, "Oh no, my home, it's my domain. It's my kingdom." We all have that. You are meant to be that powerful. You can use it everywhere. You can use it in your business. You can use it at your job, right? Because we're all entrepreneurs. Everywhere we show up, we're all entrepreneurs. We're all problem solvers. You want to be really great on your job, being employed by somebody else? Take the same approach. Say, I have an idea for how I'm going to do customer service or whatever my job might be. I'm going to have this idea to be really great at it. I'm going to duplicate it every day. I'm going to distribute it into my work. I'm going to master this. I'm going to go to classes. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to study this. This is going to be my domain. And so when my boss or my employer looks up for someone, of course they're calling me because I'm the best. I want to encourage you. Wherever you show up, bring the best with you. Be unapologetically powerful. It does not, nothing I said has to do with harming a person or belittling anyone. No, you're not designed for that. We're not even designed to do harm to one another. We're not designed for that. We are designed as life-giving beings. So wherever you show up, I want you to start looking, and I want to encourage you to look at life like this. When I show up, is the fruit of me showing up life? Does life open up and happen because I showed up? Or when I leave, is there, like, do I leave just destruction behind me? Ask yourself, and you have to listen. You have to listen. Remember, that's what it's all about. You want to be confident, become a great listener. Listen to your situations when you show up. Are people like, oh man, here they come. Oh, Lord. Are people doing that? Are people excited to see you? How are people when you leave? Are they energized or have you drained the room? Listen. Get some feedback because the environment around you will let you know. And then do something. Do something about it. If you're bringing life to the atmosphere, listen for why. Why is it that when you show up, life happens? Why? You want to know that because those are clues that you can unpack so that you can master that. I hear from people when they say, I am encouraged when you speak. I feel built up when you speak. And because I hear that, I'm like, okay, if my voice is a voice of encouragement, what do I want to learn and study? I want to learn and study how to encourage people even more. I want to learn and study how to hear the hearts of people and what's going on with a person so that I can encourage them, so that I can help them in a direction. Learn how to hear what's going on within a person. Learn how to slow down and not just breeze past people. No, I want to be there. I want to be present with you. I want to celebrate with you. I want to know what's going on with you so that I can continue to encourage you, so that I can build you up. If people constantly told me, you don't listen, I would think, I need to start listening. Right? That's what we're given. And so we all have this capability of being powerful this way. And I just want to encourage you, don't shy away from it. The more you step into your power to answer problems, your power to change an atmosphere and a situation and bring life, the more you step into it, you are going to activate a superpower within you that is going to change you. Somebody can bring you a computer. You all know this is not my zone. I'm not the computer guy, right? You bring me your computer is broken, I'm giving it back to you broken. But you might fix computers and somebody brings you their computer, then you work on it in such a way that when you give it back to them, you've now helped them in such a way that their life, their business, their productivity can go up. You've now made a difference. They've asked you to answer a problem in their life because they see your brilliance. It's time for you to see your brilliance. Computers, look, computers are your specialty. Josh's specialty, like not mine. So you know who to go to. Josh Production, not me, because I'm using it as a paperweight. Listen, over this weekend, even though I'm going to go live tomorrow and the next day, every day that I'm giving breath, I'm just going to keep going live for this month. And here's what you need to just press into being powerful. Now, at first, don't announce it to anybody. Don't even tell anybody you're working on it, right? I want you to start doing what you do with an elevated mindset. We're getting ready to shut it down. Right? Start doing what you do with an elevated mindset. I want you to start talking to yourself and becoming your own hype person. Right? Start talking to yourself, become your own hype person. And your thing, you're in the kitchen, right? You're in the kitchen, you cook. I want you to be in the kitchen and cook, like I can only think of Emerald. He's the name that came to mind. But I want you to be there, hype like that. Like so excited. Boom. I'm in the kitchen. I'm doing my thing. I'm a global icon chef. I want you to think of yourself as big. I've spoken in front of, a few thousand people before. I've stood in that and been in that environment and had thousands of people listening to me share a message. It's pretty amazing. I've played baseball in front of thousands of people. Pretty incredible. And so now I picture and envision those scenarios. And I say, yeah, I could picture myself standing in a stadium, sharing an encouraging message to a stadium full of people, because I dreamed of playing in stadiums anyway when I played baseball. So I just think I'll stand in there and I'm presenting and encouraging people and helping people to go out into the world and make an impact with their gift. I see that. Here's what we do. I'm going to encourage you. Like Rebecca said, I encourage you to see yourself as the greatest of all time. You know why? Here's why. Because you actually are. Do you know why? I'm not just like hyping you up. The reason why you are the greatest of all time is because you are a one of one, never duplicated, with your own unique fingerprints, which means whenever you touch something, you've left a unique impression on it. That's why it can be traced back to you. Your unique impression, you touched it. You're one of one. So you have actually no choice but be the greatest of all time you that you could possibly be. So think about it. Like, I'm telling you, you're getting the quick version of this. It took me a long time to understand it. I'm like, wait a second, you're a one of one? You're not going to be duplicated? So be your best possible self. If you are the best possible you that you can be, you're the greatest of all time, buddy. So just be that. Be the greatest possible dad you could be of all time. Be the greatest possible son that you could be of all time. Friend that you could be of all time. Wherever I show up with whatever relationship it is, I want to show up and be the greatest of all time me that I could be in that moment. I don't, as the days go along, I don't want to be at the same level making presentations. No, I want it to grow. I want to be on another level. I want it to grow. Like I want, why not? That's growth is a healthy and natural and should be expected from anything that's healthy. You should expect growth. When we're either growing or we're dying. So when you are growing, you are living. That's a proof of life In a few months, I'll be planting some seeds outside, and I want those vegetables and those plants to grow. Listen. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share it to encourage you. Someone asked, "Did you play professional baseball?" I like where you've landed. I did not. I did not play professional baseball. I played all the way up through college. And I was sharing the other day, when I got to the junior year, my junior year in college, I knew my days of playing were over. So I didn't want to play anymore. And I wanted to prepare in another type of way to be a husband and father. And I wanted to do something different to make a different kind of impact on the world. And so my life went that direction. OMG, this is confirmation because today I told a whole firm I was a very special person. That's right. See, here's when you begin to say it, when you begin to be convinced of who you are, look out, world. And so tonight, I just wanted to encourage you with that, to become who you are. Unapologetically powerful too. Don't. Mm-mm. One of the things I learned working with women have been great instructors to me, for me. One thing I learned though is they would say sorry a lot. Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I was like, "Stop saying sorry. Stop apologizing. When you make a strong statement, when you do something." And I learned that it was a conditioning that grown-up adult women, they were apologizing for being powerful because someone told them if you're too powerful, that's, you're all kinds of constraints. I'm sure you've heard them before. And that's why I say, no, be unapologetically powerful because you were designed to be that way and mean it. Right? Mean it. I encourage you to high five yourself often. I say, "Oh, what I do for me, I high five myself, slap myself on the butt." Why? Because I play ball and that's what you do. You high five somebody, you slap them on the butt. So that's what I do for myself when I'm hyping myself up. Like last night when I made a dozen hard-boiled eggs. I was like, good eggs, bro. Do the same. Right? Do the same. Whatever your encouragement is to yourself, do that. So, yeah, I appreciate you all. Appreciate you hanging out. And something to think about in the next few days. Just how do you want to grow? Where do you start just thinking about where you want to go? Like, what is that next level for you? Right? Here's a question. I struggle with the next question. What is the better question of reflecting and developing my reason why? How do I figure out the questions I should be asking? So you struggle coming up with a reason why? I I think first, like when you first kind of get going, right? Don't try to figure things out. Don't put too much, don't try to do too many steps all at once. This We're actually talking about a developmental process of changing our mindsets. And just like anything else, your mind and your body, there's a certain level of a load that you're able to handle. And so if you think about like working out and exercising, no one goes in day one and can no one should go in day one and do everything that they're possibly able to do because it's going to be an overload on your system. Too much, you're going to end up hurt. Same thing with your mind. Don't overwhelm yourself. Mm-mm. Operate as if you're going to wake up tomorrow and have another opportunity to think some more. So first we start taking some action. Have an idea. This week I just been encouraging you to dream, right? Just dream. Just start thinking. Start opening start opening your mind up to the possibilities. Give your heart that space to say, I'm still here. I still have some stuff in me that I want to achieve and I want to accomplish. let me just let me just breathe that in for a little bit. Before I try to figure out everything, let me just breathe in the moment. And you start there. Start there. Start with the simple exercises of writing things down. Start writing down your ideas. Yeah, just today as I was going along, like for me today, I was feeding the horses, give you an example. Feeding the horses today. And they're eating and it's snowy outside and it's winter. And I thought, and I actually shot a video about it. I thought this action is necessary for the dream. What's the dream? The dream, the vision in the spring when it gets warm is hosting 3-day events, hosting trainings, and I need the horses. So I'm doing something now that's going to show up in my future. I have a vision for it. I'm going to do some things now, but I see the vision. Yeah, that's my why. But today I'm throwing hay, just enjoying the hay, enjoying seeing the horses standing there. I don't have to figure out all of the details, but I do need to take action today. I need to do something today. I need to write down something today. Because just like we talked about last night, you'll never build the puzzle if all the pieces just stay in the box. Right? So you want to pull out a piece and put it somewhere on the table. Take action. And what happens when you take action, your being says, oh, something happened. There's been a deposit made. The environment around you says, oh, something happened. There's been a deposit made. And as you continue to make deposits, even though you don't see it, just like going to the gym, 1 workout, 2 workouts, that's not where you're going to see your shift. You see your shift as you keep on going. What's our process? Be fruitful, have an idea, multiply it, be able to repeat it, distribute it, put it into action, get it into your life. Then what? Subdue it. Then you become an expert at it. That's how you dominate. That's how you dominate your life. Have an idea, you can repeat it, you can distribute it into your life as a habit, and you master it and have dominion. We dominate life. So that's where we're at. That's what we do. Take action. Take action, take action, take action. Dream and do. And your life will be changed. That's what's going to happen. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow, like in the afternoon, probably not as late tomorrow, but let's just say, well, I can't do that time. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I got to look at the schedule for tomorrow, but I will go live tomorrow at some point. And if you don't catch it on like TikTok or Instagram, if you follow me on YouTube, I'm going to stream it there too. So it will be on YouTube. So just as another way. And so my YouTube channel is B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's A-R-D. So you can find me there as well. So, all right. It's been fun hanging out. It's great seeing you all. Congratulations on your accomplishment and what you are doing in life. Keep on moving forward. Become the powerful person that you are designed to be, because you're going to enjoy being that person. You're going to enjoy living and living in that confidence. Happy New Year. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to pray my prayers like I pray, and please just receive it as a blessing, right? Just an encouragement to you. You don't have to believe what I believe. Like I said, it's just another little dose of encouragement. So, again, thank you all for being here. Father, thank you for this day. and the opportunity for us all to be together. Thank you for the opportunity to be in the presence of so many tremendous people. Thank you for the gift of life with others and all that they bring. I thank you that they enriched this moment, and together we built a situation and an environment of life. I thank you for the testimonies of the new jobs and the testimonies of favor happening in lives, and in the confidence that's growing, and the declarations of who I am being made. Thank you for these things. Thank you because they are encouragement, that we are encouraged by one another. So I thank you that there was a willingness to share. Thank you for that kind of atmosphere being here, where we would share with one another our victories and our triumphs, as well as our heartbreaks and in those moments as well. But I thank you that this space is being nurtured and being developed, and it's already bearing fruit. So thank you. I pray tonight for everyone that's been on, those that might be watching on replay. I pray blessings upon them. I pray that the what was said and what was heard would be encouragement to them, so that they would go forward in life, that they would be healed even as they go, that they wouldn't keep looking back over their shoulder at things that they may have done that were weren't necessarily the right things to do. But I pray for a freedom to be released, a forgiveness to be released, so that healing can happen, so that someone could say that their yesterday doesn't have to be their tomorrow, that they can be free from that bondage, free from that brokenhearted place, free from that shame, free from the doubt, and released into courage and confidence. And I just pray that as we go forward, making an impact and touching this world, and adding to it, that those that move forward would be blessed. I pray that you would richly reward them in the ways that they know that they desire to be rewarded. But I pray that you would also be a rewarder in unusual ways. Do unusual things, release unusual blessings, and enrich areas of their life that they didn't even know needed enrichment. Thank you for the opportunity to serve and to touch these lives. Thank you for trusting me with these as a gift. I pray that I can continue to serve well, that you would be blessed, and that they would be blessed. I pray that you would do miracles in their home, miracles in their lives, and bless them tremendously. Thank you again, and we pray for all these things in Jesus' name and count them as done. Amen. All right. Good stuff. You all have a fantastic evening, and take some time, do something that refreshes you, restores you, and builds you up, right? Because you are needed in this world. So I'm going to go get some rest and hope that you do the same, right? Many blessings to you all. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2P's ARD, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. I love you all. See ya.